live. Welcome
Nice.
to The Honeypot's Grave, the internet's premier internet commentary podcast, which is now a movie podcast.
Which, neat, I guess.
We gave up.
Yep. I'm still gonna read exactly one comment right now, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
That's fine.
I'm picking my bongo up in the morning, so I need to oil the roof, as it was making a horrid noise when I went to try the bongo. Where is that? I oil.
Okay, is that in the fucking chat, or...?
It's in the chat.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
It's literally the second thing that you see. It's there.
So I think what they're doing is they're asking where their oil is.
Yeah, obviously. That's like the main plot point of this comment is they do not know where their
They can't
anything
find
is
their
there.
fucking oil.
Ripple.
Okay.
And they're obviously a big fan of music because they're picking up bongos.
Mm-hmm.
But the real question here is, what's a horrid noise?
I think
Isn't that the guy from Harry Potter?
I think they were trying to say horrid.
Mood. Honestly, this should be like put in like one of those fancy museums where they just like show crappy art.
Perhaps.
But this art is not crappy at all. It is actually supreme.
It's actually fucking excellent, so like... So I guess at this point we should probably talk about the fucking awful movie we watched this week.
Oh yeah.
For
is this
your
gonna be
enjoyment.
like a running theme that we just watch absolutely shitty movies?
Well, I mean, why would we watch good movies? Huh?
True. Maybe because they're actually good, and I can at least like somewhat fish some entertainment from them, instead of having to like dig deep within its like disgusting sewers of crappy CGI live animation.
That's fair, but do you think they want to hear us talk about good movies?
I mean, I would.
I guess, but like, we're playing to an audience here. So, this week,
Yes.
we watched The Adventures of Jurrasic Pet, and it sucked shit.
It was
You
really
already know
bad.
that. So,
that's the tagline of the show now. It sucks shit.
it was fucking awful. So, we watched The Adventures of Jurrasic Pet, and the first thing that happens in this movie is that there's a guy out in the woods, and there's just a T-Rex, like, fucking immediately. He finds
Like,
some
he picks
egg.
up a rock, and then it turns out to be an egg, and then he turns around and fucking, like, bam, instantly, out of nowhere, T-Rex.
T-Rex right the fuck there. First, like, 3 minutes of the goddamn movie. So, they got
That's just how
right
it
to
be
the
sometimes.
fucking point, huh?
Yep, definitely.
So,
Like, oh, this is what you came here for, right? Just fucking right on in there. Leave your fucking dinosaur. Give me your $10.
God, yeah. Okay, so T-Rex right in the first few fucking minutes of the movie. Epic, very cool. Then we have a time skip to 5 years in the future, just like Avengers Endgame.
Just like Avengers. Wow. This really reminds me of the hit movie series. The movie series I think it's called Avengers. You know what
Damn,
they're called?
really?
Damn. Really makes you think.
Really makes you fucking think, doesn't it?
That really makes my brain cells just fucking slam.
So, there's a time skip to 5 years in the future, and now there's a fucking, like, bald-headed science man who is feeding a fucking alligator like some chemicals to awaken its dinosaur DNA, which is not how that works, I don't think.
Yeah.
This is like in the Super Mario Brothers movie. when they tried to devolve stuff.
I don't even remember any information from that movie. That's how bad that movie was. Also, I've never watched it, so I can't get any information from it anyways.
The thing is, alligators have remained unchanged for like millions of years, so they already are dinosaurs.
Also, they're peak evolution, so...
They don't need to change anymore. They're
already perfect.
Fine. That's why they haven't changed for 1,000,000 years! After that, we get more misinformation about dinosaurs when this kid is in a museum, and he's like, actually, aren't there like some living relatives of dinosaurs? And the tour guide says, yeah, like alligators, birds, and frogs! Frogs are not fucking dinosaurs!
As we all know, the mighty fearsome reptile that can sometimes just straight up fucking kill you. The frog! Whenever I see Kermit the fucking Hedgehog, I just go, oh yeah, that's a fucking goddamn dinosaur there. Wow!
So very epic information about dinosaurs, fucking Jurassic Pest.
Giraffes.
So already we can tell that this movie doesn't know what's fucking going on, and that will continue to be an issue. After that, the boy who said, aren't there living relatives of dinosaurs, walks in, like he's going home from school, and he just walks into some random ass, shifty ass, creepy store, and he talks...
And his friends tell him like, oh hey, we gotta get home and eat the homework or something. We are teenage children with skated boards. We must consume of the home to work. How do you do, fellow kids?
Yeah, this kid has a fucking skateboard for some reason. Like,
because he
just walks around with the skateboard like the whole goddamn movie.
He was a skater boy. Said see you later, boy. Anyways, they walk into the fancy antique store with like creepy shit. And one of the first things that he does is talk to the guy behind the counter, because why wouldn't you? And what he does next is absolutely disgusting, absolutely horrifying. It really shakes my bones. It really grinds my gears into my bread. It really just fucking deodors my int. You know what he does? He takes his fucking shitty paper machete, like, toilet paper tubes stacked on top of each other and then wrapped in paper machete, and then just, like, shaped into the face of a cat, and he goes, oh, this is an ancient mummy of a cat or something. And
it's what? Very obviously not a fucking mummified cat, sir. I don't know what scam you're trying to pull, but it's not gonna fucking work, sir.
I'm pretty sure that is not a mummified cat. That is my 5th grade self's, like, crappy mandatory paper mache fucking paper tube wrapped up into a fucking circle. Like, oh, I'll never finish this, but here it is, I guess. Goddamn arts and crafts project.
Okay.
Like, it's disgusting.
So this
Actually,
old man running this, like, fucking arts and crafts fake ass.
Oh, and the next thing he pulls up is just straight up like a piece of glass that he like rounds down. It's like sea glass. It doesn't even look like that cool. It's just see-through.
So this old man's trying to sell this kid like his fucking garbage, and the kid's like, dude, I don't want this fucking garbage. It's obviously fucking garbage. It's literal goddamn garbage. I want something that has some value.
After some kid didn't get the #1 prize for his goddamn arts and crafts cat. So now you're selling it as a goddamn mummy.
So then this old ass man brings him into like the back room, and he's like, here, I got a fucking box, take it. And he just hands him this box for free.
It's just gotta take a box.
He says, it's free, you just gotta like take good care of it or whatever. Go the fuck away, I hate you. And then he does. And then he did.
And then he did. That's like the entire premise of the movie, actually.
So he goes,
hey, maybe you shouldn't go into the creepy store. And then he did. Hey, just fucking take this box and leave. And then he did.
then he goes home, and his mom walks into his room, and he's like, "Wow, this room is a mess!" And there's like 3 shirts
It's
on the
literally
floor.
the cleanest fucking room I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's like 3 shirts on the floor, and that's the mess.
The mess. Here's the most mess.
Okay, Wig.
There was like 1 shirt on his bed. His bed, like, obviously wasn't made because he's a fucking child. Who the hell makes the bed? It's disgusting. There was 1 shirt on a chair and like 2 shirts on the floor. That was about it for quote-unquote mess.
That was the mess.
Oh, wait. Actually, his chair wasn't pushed in, so he's fucking disgusting. He's an actual slob. I hate him. I'm gonna kill him. Give me $200.
Okay, Wig. So, after that, he opened the box that he got from this old-ass man, and he's like, "Oh, it's like a big fucking egg? Okay." And this is the egg from the beginning of the movie that the old man found in the woods. And might I remind you, it's been 5 years since he found the egg!
There is no way that egg is alive. He's gonna fucking crack it open next morning to make his omelets, and it's just gonna fucking pour out dust. Cause remember, this is just like hit movie series Avenjo.
The fucking... Okay, so he looks up, like, how to hatch an egg on fake YouTube, like in all the movies.
Boot snoot.
Yeah.
That's what it's called or something.
Some
That's what I'm calling it now.
fake website that isn't YouTube, but like is very clearly, obviously meant to be fucking YouTube. So he looks up how to hatch an egg on that, and then he does what the YouTube tutorial says, and then his mom was like, "You gotta eat dinner," so he goes and eats dinner, and then he goes upstairs.
He eats it like super fast. He speed runs the dinner. He's just like, you can tell he's just fucking absolutely choking down that food, trying to get back into his shitty room.
And then he goes upstairs and like picks up the egg, and it starts hatching. And then there's this
for no reason.
There's this shitty,
like,
gross, nasty, gross.
Like he didn't even
ugly...
do what the video said that much. He put 2 pieces of clothes on top of the egg, and like, yep, that'll work.
So the egg hatches despite being in a fucking box for 5 goddamn years.
And also not being insulated that well.
Yeah. The egg hatches, and out pops this gross, shitty, nasty, blue CGI dinosaur that we all fucking hate and want to snap its fucking neck! And then he drops it.
It's like the old fucking Sonic.
And then he drops the baby dinosaur fucking
like
immediately.
He just fucking drops it. I'm pretty sure he should have died there, because that was like a good 4-foot drop. He was like holding it up Simba style. He was like, "Oh, that's pretty neat." And then like the top like flies off like it always does whenever there's an egg hatching, and he just goes, "Ah!" And he fucking drops it immediately.
So like, so far, pretty good dinosaur dad, I guess.
Yeah, that definitely was a dinosaur movie. The movie's over now. Nothing happens ever. That's the end. Rip.
So then he feeds the dinosaur fucking gummy bears. Dinosaurs need meat. They need meat. They need meat!
I like the word meat, but okay. Also, the 2 things this stupid idiot child feeds the dinosaur is 1, like 5 gummy bears, and 2, an entire like slice of apple pie. He literally does not feed it any nutritional meat whatsoever. This dinosaur is not vegan, dude!
This dinosaur is fucking malnourished!
You were fucking starving it, you dipshit boy.
So then he goes downstairs again and just leaves the dinosaur in his room, I guess?
That's a fucking smart plan. It definitely will not cause any havoc at all. Trust me, I'm a scientist.
He gets the pie and he goes back upstairs and feeds the dinosaur the pie, yada yada yada. And then his mom knocks on his door at like 5 p.m. and it's like, "It's bedtime!" And like the sun's still up.
Like, you can see the sun outside of the window.
She's like, "What are you doing in there?" And he's like, "I'm doing homework." And she's like, "Well, you better get done soon, because it's bedtime." And like, dude, it's 5 p.m. So...
I mean, do you not go to bed at 5 p.m.?
I don't, actually.
Wow.
Do fucking you?
No.
Wig. So, that's where we are up to at this point. I think So next, the kid goes back to the museum with the dinosaur, like, just stuffed in his fucking backpack, I guess. And he just, like, walks around and drops the dinosaur in the museum, and the dinosaur is, like, walking around, and he's walking around after the dinosaur. And that's, like, most of the movie.
Yeah, it's just the guy chasing after the dinosaur. That's, like, 40%
Most of the
movie.
movie is the dinosaur is running around, and we have to find and get the dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
So...
We gotta get the dinosaur before the other people do. Wig. Also, why the hell's my hand so glittery? What the hell?
It's the gay rights.
Oh, right, I forgot. It's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month, babes.
Wow.
Okay, so... and then he gets the dinosaur, but the science man, the bald science man from the beginning, sees him.
And he's like, holy shit, a real live dinosaur with the dicks!
Yeah, so
and then he just fucking, like, runs over into the security room, and he's like, oh shit, what the fuck is for no reason. And then he talks to, like, a janitor or something, and it's, like, insignificant. That's all I remember from that. And then he just fucking runs out into the lobby, just fucking absolutely gunning it, just so we can get this shitty dinosaur.
Before we go any further, I'd like to bring up my theory that I have about the movie.
Go for it.
So, the dinosaur egg is brought... Oh, yeah. Before, I gotta tell you this, too. The kid goes back to the fucking store, and, like, the old man, I guess it was a ghost that died 5 years ago, right? Whatever.
Oh, yeah, because he tries to return it, like, as soon as it hatches.
The dinosaur.
This bitch does not have any responsibility whatsoever. As soon as one conflict turns up, he just tries to get rid of it immediately instead of actually solving the problem. Wow.
Can you please not do this on the fucking podcast outside of the fucking sponsors?
No.
Moment. Please stop. This is bad to listen to. I promise. This is not
but I gotta get
audio,
my
okay?
point across. I gotta make sure that literally everyone within a 10-mile vicinity can know that this kid is a dipshit.
Bro, it isn't good audio. It's bad audio. We're trying to make good audio, bro. Stop
Good
it.
audio is a sacrifice that needs to be taken for funny jokes and also being loud.
Do you want some fucking bad audio, huh, you bastard? You want some bad fucking audio?
BRB, I'm gonna fucking just absolutely crunch my bit rate on Discord. BRB. Voice and video.
Very nice.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I'd like to see you try. Let me see here. Where's the bit rate? Because I just need none of that shit. Okay.
Can we proceed? Can I lay out my goddamn fucking time theory, you bastard?
Go for it.
Okay. So my theory is that the store that he got the egg from is, like, unstuck in time. Like, it's stuck...
Homestuck?
Fucking die. The store is, like... sometimes is like just like you can walk into it and it can be any fucking year of like the world, right? So when he walked into it, it happened to be 5 years ago, which is why the dinosaur egg hatched, because it was a fresh dinosaur egg, because he walked 5 years into the past, right?
Oh wait.
And that's also why that old man was there, because it was 5 years in the past when he wasn't dead.
Wow, wig.
So that's my time theory. So that's my time theory.
Where were we in the movie? Right, the fucking first chase scene of the movie that literally no one wants. Basically, what the science man does is he just fucking absolutely guns it through the entire place. The kid and the dinosaur make it outside, and, like, the kid, like, accidentally corrals it towards, like, this shitty, like, fountain pool where, like, a bird bath or something.
Can we please not go through the details of the fucking
I do not care! You need to see the picture of how the movie is laid out.
We don't! we can just say there's a shitty chase scene and move on with our fucking
There's a
lives.
shitty chase scene. And he like chases him over to like a koi pond or some fucking shit. And he's like, no. While like the dinosaur was like dipping his foot into the water. Like, who gives a fuck?
Oh yeah, the dinosaur.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, the dinosaur gets.
There is literally no downside to letting the dinosaur get his goddamn feet wet.
I guess like there's footprints, but
Yeah, but who could? They're just gonna think that like it's paint or something because it's a fucking dinosaur museum.
God, yeah. Okay.
Literally, who gives a shit?
So.
Oh, there's also a scene where the dinosaur jumps into a dinosaur exhibit, and they're like, "Oh, everyone is just like, oh, hey, that's a pretty cool like animatronic or something. That looks really real. Wow, wig." And there's just this stupid idiot child that's like 2 years old, and they just say in the most monotone voice, "Hi, dinosaur." And then the fucking dinosaur escapes, and then it's like, "Bye, dinosaur." It literally adds nothing to the movie except
Mommy,
one
look,
time.
a real dinosaur. That's like the exact fucking quote. That's literally it. Mommy, look, a real dinosaur.
you just fucking hear like the model clanking and just like fucking T-posing, just like, "Look, mommy, a real dinosaur."
So, and then the kid brings the dinosaur in his backpack to the grocery store for some reason.
He's got to get some
Then the
grocery to
dinosaur
eat.
gets out, and there's another fucking shitty chase scene in the grocery store. But this time
It
the
includes a
dinosaur
fucking
is
service
nice.
dog that you can literally see the service dog being pet,
And
which
also
I'm
it's
pretty
a
sure that's
fucking
illegal in
chihuahua,
all
so,
50
like-
states.
Also, it's
So
a
fucking wig.
chihuahua. I'm pretty sure it was the service dog's
It was not a
owner.
chihuahua. I know what a chihuahua looks like. I have like 2 of them.
Well, it wasn't like a real dog that would be a service dog. It wasn't like a dog breed that would be a service dog, you know?
It looked
was like-
if a chihuahua was big and also less hateful.
It was a small dog. Anyways.
Definitely.
The
It fucking
people-
barks at the dinosaur.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
the people
That's
who
all
were
it is.
petting the service dog, I'm pretty sure were its owners, and I don't think that's illegal.
No, it definitely was just some like random lady that worked at the store. She had like work store clothes
No,
on.
she was holding the dog's leash.
Shit, Jared 19 never learned how to remember.
Okay. So then the dinosaur like eats a whole raw tomato, I guess.
Yeah,
And
he eats an entire fucking tomato.
And then it jumps
It's
into
disgusting.
the back of somebody's car, and they drive away with
Or-
the dinosaur.
Oh yeah, also, for some reason, the big obstacle that's literally in every single chase scene, because it's a fucking chase scene, for this particular chase scene, instead of like a barrier of people or like a crowd or something, it's just one really over-enthusiastic like store owner guy
Yeah.
who works at the store.
It's just like a fucking employee at the store who's
It's just
like,
an employee just like
hassling this
pestering this child about his fucking skateboard. Like, "Oh, cool skateboard, where'd you get it?"
Just
And
being
then
a
like
fucking
at the
asshole.
end he's like, "Whoa, why are you fidgeting so much? You in a hurry?" And then he goes, "Yes," and then he goes, "Oh, okay, why didn't you say so?" So literally that entire like conflict in the movie could have just not happened if,
was just
you know,
like,
he just
"I'm
said,
busy."
"I'm in a hurry. I need to
God,
be
yeah.
somewhere. I need to I'm busting to take a piss. You're in my way.
I'm about to
Where's
bust.
the bathroom, sir?"
I'm about to bust.
Please never talk ever again.
Okay, fine. So,
Wait.
so
Wow, you really are taking on that promise of not talking ever again. Okay, cool. Anyways, the dinosaur rides in that guy's car. He eats literally all of his groceries, which I'm pretty sure 0 of them were meat.
none of them
so-
were meat. It was all like fucking lettuce and shit.
It was fucking... I'm pretty sure that T-Rexes were not vegans, I think. Also,
Oh,
he
we-
just fucking, like, bit into an entire canister of milk, and there was not a single milk stain. So I'm calling
We have
bullshit. This
neglected
entire
to
movie is
mention
bullshit, actually.
that every time the dinosaur like eats, it like gets bigger, I guess, which doesn't
Not
make any
not
fucking
noticeably.
sense.
Like, where as soon as it eats, it, like, glows green and goes, pew!
Yeah,
No, it just,
just
fucking, like,
cuts away.
someone
and cuts
sets
back
the
and
scale,
it's
like,
bigger.
1 pixel higher or something, so you
It
can't
like
fucking tell.
cuts away and then cuts back, and wow, the dinosaur's bigger. Amazing.
Wow.
And somebody's like,
Look at those
wow,
special
the dinosaur
effects that we
got
didn't add in.
bigger. So,
And like the first time they did that joke, I didn't even fucking notice it.
it didn't
Like,
get
I thought
any
they were,
fucking
like,
bigger
joshing.
that first time.
Like, it definitely was the exact same size. Like, it used to be the size of a softball. Now it's the size of a softball, but also a singular atom on top. Like a snowman.
Yeah, it was like it's like they set the model to 1.1.
Also, I think there's a thunderstorm outside of my house, so fucking a wig.
Epic.
Either that or someone just crashed their car into, like, a tree or something.
That would also be
Both very possible.
epic.
Uh,
Okay, so
what
then
happens? Oh,
the
right.
dinosaur
He
pops.
eats all of his groceries.
Yeah.
He jumps out of the car. He's now, like, the size of, like, a Great Dane or something.
Yeah.
And the guy who, the dinosaur just landed in his yard, he's just like...
And then he goes and gets a
He
gun
goes into
and
his house.
shoots the fucking dinosaur with a gun.
He gets an elephant gun, just like the old woman from the beginning of Ratatouille, and she just he shoots him point blank.
And the dinosaur lives! The dinosaur lives!
Now you must take note, this is going to be on your test this evening.
An elephant gun is a gun designed to kill elephants at point blank range. You fucking shoot it, and the elephant dies. This T-Rex is not only noticeably smaller than an elephant, but also much, much weaker, because it's like fucking 3 days old.
And it's only eating vegetables and sugar.
Oh, and also, it was like he pointed that right at its face. There is a 0% chance that it should have lived, and yet it walks out of the battle with literally 0 bullet holes for some
No
goddamn
noticeable
reason.
injuries.
No noticeable injuries. I think the dinosaur actually got bigger, which means I think it ate the bullet.
That sounds about right. And then this guy
Movie
calls
logic.
the cops.
Also, it is definitely a thunderstorm, because it happened twice now.
Oh, nice.
Unless we're just really unfortunate and we just had 2 car crashes at the same
Then
time.
this guy who shot a dinosaur with a gun calls the cops. So, like
a wig, I guess.
pretty
He's like,
boring human man, I guess.
Monster outside my house!
There's a monster! Dude, it's a fucking dinosaur. Call it a dinosaur.
Also,
It's
he
very
looks like
obviously
if
a
the
dinosaur.
pro-life died anyways guy had, like, gray hair and... Actually, no, he looks more like the diabetes guy.
Diabetes.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy?
Him. Yeah, him.
That guy?
It is definitely that man. It's the
Okay.
guy that says diabetes.
Okay, so... Yeah, all that shit that we just talked about happens. And then
And
the
then they
guy
just, like,
calls
get the cops and they just put it in a cage and put it in a police car. And, also
Okay,
note this. This is gonna be the bonus question on the
bars aren't
test.
big enough for the
The
dinosaur
bars
to get
are
out of the
indeed
cage.
farther apart than the dinosaur. So it definitely could walk out if it really wanted
So, like,
to.
that's a trend that seems to be continuing. Just bars that the characters can, like, walk the fuck out of very easily. Because that
Yeah,
was in the
things
Queen's
that the
Corgi
characters
also.
should be able to do, but they just don't because they're lazy.
Because that was in the Queen's Corgi also.
Oh shit! Right? God
So,
damn!
like, I don't know what's going
I
on.
can't wait until the next movie we watch is equally as terrible and also has bars that
The
are
next
very,
movie
very
we're
wide.
gonna watch is G-Force, and I'm pretty sure that does happen in G-Force, gang.
Oh my god!
So, like,
Wig.
wig, yeah. I feel like we're saying
What
wig
happens
too
next?
much.
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like
they
we're
just
saying
straight
wig
up.
too much because that's literally what the sponsors want us to say is wig. But like
They-
bass boosted. I feel like
Oh,
we're,
I
like,
think we've hit the sort of middle point of the movie, which now means it's time for our state
no, we do
mandated.
it at the end.
And why the hell would we do it at the end?
Podcast.
Do you
It's a
do-
good way to sign
okay.
off. Because it's a good way to sign off the podcast, gang.
Fine.
Okay, so the dinosaur goes to the police station, and then the boy goes to the police station also, and the cop there's like,
Oh, and the cop
why
like
are
calls
you
him
at-
out on the
why
fact
aren't
that
you
like
at
he's
school?
not at school right now on the middle of the school day.
He's probably
He's like,
here to report
"Oh, I'm going
crime,
here for
sir."
a project." And he's like, oh, "Fucking sure, I can't be bothered."
If he's at the police station, he's probably here to report a crime.
True.
That's
Like my
I
entire
guess.
school got blown up. Oh, fucking who
Why are
gives a
you
shit?
at
Why are you
school?
here at school?
Fucking go to school, you
It's a
dipshit.
police
School is
station,
gone!
sir.
Oh, fucking, who gives a shit? Go back to school. Go back to the smoldering crater that is your school, bro.
So, like, nice police officer.
Nice.
Blue,
He's doing his job.
Lives don't matter.
What a good pick. And can't wait for the bacon.
Blue lives don't fucking matter. This is your daily reminder. Okay.
More like weekly, because we literally make these things weekly.
We do make these things weekly.
Wow. Also, what is that clanking in the background?
My microphone.
Oh, weird. Nice.
It's a pretty good fucking microphone, I'm not gonna lie.
Sell out.
I bought it with my own money.
You sell out. You're not real.
Okay. So while at the police station,
they're just like, he sits up against the glass, just like staring right through the glass, right at the dinosaur. He was just like presented right behind the goddamn like police station, talk to the police officer, pigman thing, you know?
Okay, so like,
okay, there's definitely thundering outside my house. What the fuck?
At the police station, they have like, they have that like interrogation room. Oh,
yeah, the dinosaur is in the interrogation room.
The interrogation room is like in the fucking lobby of the police station, so you can just see the dinosaur if you walk into the police station.
It's like they're trying to show it off to everyone.
It's
like oh yeah, we got a real dinosaur. Not to freakily flex on y'all, but we definitely got a real dinosaur in our house. So fucking riplol.
It's like they're trying to start a fucking fair. Honestly. So
up here we have person that has grown a beard even though they should not be able to, person that can get stabbed like 18 times, real life dinosaur, snake with 2 heads.
I'm gonna be honest,
tickets,
I
please.
don't want to talk about this fucking movie anymore.
Not too bad.
Like
you're forced to.
We're at like not even, oh god. We're at like 33 minutes of talking about this movie. I hate this, I think.
We have much, much more to go.
I don't want to, we really do, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. This isn't supposed to be an hour-long podcast.
This was your idea to turn it into a movie podcast.
God damn it.
Once again, I am correct.
I hate this.
Anyways, the next part of the movie that's somewhat significant is the kid sits down and he's like, oh man, they got the dinosaur, what am I gonna do? If only there was some form of adult character to help me in this situation. And he sits down next to a fucking hobo.
And then the hobo looks at the camera and it's the guy from the fucking store.
Wait.
That was apparently dead like 5 years ago?
He faked his own death to live a life of hoboing.
I mean, I'd do it.
Mood.
So,
not really,
it's the old man from before, and he's a hobo now, I guess. And then he's like, dude, we gotta save the dinosaur. And the hobo's like, okay, fine, wig. And then
we gotta get dinosaurs back!
And, like, this buggy, this, like, shitty-looking improvised do-it-yourself-ass buggy that the hobo owns, apparently.
It's like the fucking Gmod car. Like when you load up Gmod and you spawn a car, that's the car. That's it. Except somehow
Gmod,
like shorter.
So I'm just gonna like take your word for this.
It's the same one from Half-Life.
I've never played Half-Life, so I'm just gonna take your word for this.
Nice. Well, it's just like shitty in wireframe. It's just really bad.
Well, I
you
saw
could probably
the car
get, like,
from the movie, so I can imagine.
Yeah, it's just that.
So, they get in there, and they, like, drive around for a while. They kind of just drive around for a while, huh?
Yeah, they really do just drive around for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
And then they finally, like, make it, all the way over to, like...
Got the dinosaur from the cops, by the way. We forgot.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, oh,
so
there's a dinosaur here. Who do we call? Like, dinosaur professional? Yeah, okay.
So that's
and
where
then
they're going. They're going to, like, the science man's, like...
They're going to the science man's house to fucking get the dinosaur back.
So,
and apparently he lives in, like, tents or something.
And on the way, they, like, have a crash, but it looks like...
Oh, no, we have to get, like, the full story to this. One, this man did not install... Let me talk. This man did not install brakes on his crappy buggy. You know what he did have? He had...
blasters!
He had fucking rocket blasters. He also had an anchor, which he did not tie down.
Which, first off, what the fuck, bro? Like, would you care to explain that to the audience, the judge, the jury, and also my ass? How you did that? And then he's like, alright, hand me the wrench, I'm gonna try and fix the brakes that I definitely installed. And then he's like, oh, like this wrench? He just fucking pulls it out of his ass, and he's like, perfect, you take the wheel. And then he's like, alright, see ya. And he goes fucking under the car, like, sort of Spider-Man-like, where he just fucking, like, attaches to it. And then the kid goes like, ah! Because he's literally never learned how to drive, and he does not own a Nintendo console, so he has never, like, played Mario Kart to, like, even think about how to learn to drive. And they fucking car crash. In the car crash, what happened was, the wheels just fucking just stopped working altogether, and they just fucking, like, instant, like, 90-degree turn, just right into a tree.
It
like,
looks like they just, like, grabbed the steering wheel and jerked it to the left.
No, it was like they took, like, a pneumatic drill, and they just fucking plugged it into the steering wheel, and pulled the sort of drill trigger so hard that it started spinning itself to death.
Do you mean pneumatic?
Shut up. It has a P in it, silent P. It's like pterodactyl.
Yeah, it's a silent P! It's a silent P!
It's like pterodactyl, trust me.
I am going to kill you, but we gotta move on with this fucking podcast first.
True.
Okay, so then they, like,
Tune in next time where my corpse flies through the window.
So they walk around in the woods for a while, around the fucking science compound, and then the old man does, like, a shitty magic trick for some reason.
Oh yeah, he's like, alrighty, I'll distract him, and then you sneak on in. And so he's like, he does his shitty magic trick, he takes one of those, like, smoke balls, he throws it on the floor, and then he's just, like, sitting there after the smoke dissipates. And he's like, shit, I didn't disappear, did I? And the security guard that's, like, fucking watching him goes, no. And then literally every single security guard in the science facility just chases after him.
Because his magic trick was so awful.
His magic trick was so awful that they need to catch this man, jail him, and have him sent to the electric chair for his shitty magician crimes.
So then that happens, and then they go and, like, find the dinosaur in a tent, and they let the dinosaur out of the tent.
True. The fucking kid does not know how a tent works, so he didn't know how to unzip one of the fucking, like, doors. So he has to go through an entirely different door that is, like, surrounded by science people that will definitely catch and kill him for his magician-like crimes.
What a numbskull. I hate this child, and I hate the dinosaur.
Well, they both die. Rip lol.
Okay, and then,
They're, like, trying to sneak the dinosaur out. They have, like, 15 guns pointed at it.
It's a huge fucking dinosaur. Oh yeah, by the way, the dinosaur's, like, big at this point. It's huge.
Yeah, it's, like, big at this point. Another thing that we neglected to mention is there's sort of, like, a Metal Gear Solid, like, sneaking around a bit.
Sort of.
Where, he sneaks into a tent that's, like, pre-opened, and he walks in, and there's just, like, a scientist at a desk there, like, not facing the door, and then the scientist just, like, his head falls over, like Mimikyu when you hit it in Pokemon. Like Pokemon when you fucking hit a Mimikyu and its disguise falls off and it fucking snaps its neck or something.
It literally looked like his neck just vanished from, like, inside his body.
Everyone that was watching the movie at this point, because believe it or not, it's not just us two that actually watched the movie. We're somewhat efficient and other people watch it. We literally all made jokes about how this man has, like, baby head, where, like, he cannot support his own weight.
Yeah. So we'll talk about how you can listen to the movie and watch with us as we watch it later when we talk about sponsors and shit. But getting on with the film.
With the film, yes. We're back to the scene where, like, he's out in the wild, he has the dinosaur, he's, like, a foot away from victory, and then the science man is like, what do you think you're doing in my science facility, punk? And then, like, literally every single guard comes back and has their guns pointed at the dinosaur.
And one of the guards shoots the dinosaur with a tranquilizer dart, but it doesn't work because it's a huge dinosaur. And then
he shoots it with his fucking, like, CSGO op that definitely is shooting bullets.
And
And he
then
acts like it's a tranquilizer dart.
the boy and the dinosaur and the old man just like walk around in the woods for a while, and the other guys chase him in the woods for a while. And that's like a long stretch of the film that we don't have to talk about at all because nothing happens.
There's an entire fucking like plot point where there's like a fork in the road that looks like a fucking playground, like build your own rocks set, where it's like plastic rocks with fossils ingrained in them.
There was?
looks
I
like
don't
shit.
remember that fucking at all.
I definitely remember like there was being like a two-way thing to go. The hobo goes one way, the kid and the dinosaur go the other, and then the fucking science group splits up so they can fucking look for him or some
I don't
shit.
remember that fucking
And the rocks,
at all.
the rocks look like fucking plastic. Like back in my old elementary school, they
I know
had
what you're
these like
talking about, yeah.
shitty rocks that you climbed on, and I was fucking scared of them because like I didn't want to break my fucking hands on a rock or something.
Guess I just wasn't fucking paying attention, which is
Yeah, no, you were
valid.
just fucking blanking out.
I did that last week when we were watching the Queen's
The
Corgi.
Corgi's queen.
When you there was like
Alternate universe.
there was like a 10-minute stretch of the podcast where I just zoned completely out, and you were like recapping stuff, and I was not listening at all. I was just off in my own fucking brain, thinking about how bad the movie was and how much I wanted to sleep. Which is why we shouldn't record these at like 3 in the morning.
Honestly, I record them at 3 in the morning to get away from all the noise. But this fucking thunderstorm is crunching my bones, if you know what I mean.
Anyways, back to this week in the present.
Oh, there's a present? What do you get for me?
So the science man doesn't find the dinosaur, I guess.
Yeah, true.
And then
And
they
then
just leave the dinosaur.
The hobo's
in
like,
the
oh,
woods.
it's a dinosaur, it's gotta be free out in the wild. So then he fucking releases it or something.
Into the
Like,
fucking forest where it's gonna like ruin the ecosystem.
It's an invasive species.
And then
This
the
dinosaur
movie ends.
will fucking kill.
And then the movie ends. And there's a sequel
like a fucking,
tease.
there's like a Minecraft / title where it's just fucking like
We'll see
coming
you
soon
again.
to a theater near you, Jurassic Pet 2.
We'll see you again. I hope that this ends up like the sequel tease at the end of Mac and Me, because there was no Mac and Me 2, but there was a sequel tease at the end.
Or like the sequel to Iron Giant. There is no sequel to Iron Giant.
There's no sequel to Iron Giant because nobody ever wanted there to be a sequel to Iron Giant because it doesn't fucking need a sequel because it's a complete movie. The story is complete. Everything's resolved at the end of the Iron Giant. There
Actually,
doesn't need
at
to
the
be a
end of the
sequel.
Iron Giant, there's just like the fucking screw that just walks off, and it's just like they finally rebuild the robot or some shit in
Yeah.
like Russia.
Back to so the movie ends. The movie just ends there. There's no fucking end. There's no like resolution. The characters had shitty motivations the whole time. They just did stuff for no fucking reason.
They did stuff because they did stuff.
They did stuff
because it was on the
fucking
script.
said so.
Like,
Um,
take this box. Why? Because the movie said so. Hatch this egg. Why?
Because the movie said so.
Feed this dinosaur gummy bears. Why? Because the movie said so. Hide this dinosaur from literally everyone. Why? Because I said so.
So that's the end of Jurassic Pest. I hope we
We
never
gotta
fucking
make
see
sure
it again.
no one finds the dinosaur, especially not the science people. Why? Because the movie said so. Wouldn't
So-
them finding the dinosaur make it so that science advances really far, and then we can like bring back the dinosaurs with the genetics? No, fuck you. The movie said so.
So here at the end of the podcast, we'd like to talk about our Patreon.
Of course. I mean, I think you
So-
mean your Patreon.
Well, I would give you money, but like your parents don't want me to or whatever, so
Wig.
I'm just gonna buy you Steam games.
Wig.
That's how I'm gonna compensate.
That's
you for
that's
this
called
work.
equivalent exchange. If you ever watch Full Metal Alchemist, then you know that
I'll
shit.
buy you like $31 worth of Steam games every month.
Okay, that's a bit much, but okay.
Well, that's like if I'm splitting it 50-50, then that's how much money you're getting.
Holy shit! Wow. Wig.
Anyways, so like I said, we have a Patreon. Well, I have a Patreon. We have a Patreon.
We Asterisk have a Patreon.
So I post stuff on there, like, just completely related to myself that doesn't have anything to do with the podcast, because I do have other things going on besides this one podcast. If you weren't aware,
Wow, really?
like the Minecraft server, the Discord server. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on everything. I got YouTube, all that shit. And if you do join the Patreon, you'll gain access to Patreon chat in the Discord server, and you will be able to watch the movie with us every week. And you can
and you can sometimes just like add your own jokes.
Yeah, we'll like, you can give us notes and like suggestions for stuff to
like,
talk about.
oh hey, when you watch this specific movie, you should talk about this, because I thought it was really funny.
Exactly. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, then you can find us on Patreon. I link it in the description of all the episodes. You can just join the Discord server in general. We have a lot of fun stuff going on here. We play video games a lot. We voice chat. It's a good time all around, I'd say.
The voice chat is a more recent thing because people are actually slightly less shy about themselves now.
Yeah.
It's very nice, actually.
It's very fun. We have a lot of fun here.
There are many fun things. Fun is in all capital block letters, fucking like impact font.
You can also, if you want to, you can be on the podcast if you're a patron. You might remember that that used to be just a policy. Like, if you asked to be on the podcast, we would let you be on the podcast. Nobody's done that so far, but we are like rescinding that, I guess, because it would be weird if you could just get all the benefits of the Patreon for free
without like,
just
actually
because
getting...
you want to be on the podcast. That didn't seem fair.
If we ever go back to like reading comments, which we probably will, but we probably won't. It's a possibility that we may go back to just reading comments. But if we do go back to reading comments, then yeah, that will go back to being free or something. Because like you can't spoil a comment.
Well, no.
It's literally just words.
Yeah, I think that will go back to being free, but we'll see what
Everything
happens.
else you gotta pay for.
Thank you for listening to The Honeypot's Grave. We have a message from our sponsor, because we only have one Patreon supporter at the moment.
And now a message from our sponsors. That is all for the message from our sponsors.
Thank you, Elliot, for the money.
You did this to us. Why did you do this to us?
We'll see y'all next week. And I guess
Maybe.
the podcast is an hour long now.
Well, what could you do? Now we're a normal podcast.
Now we're a regular podcast. If you like the podcast already, this should be good for you, I think. But if you hate it, then come and kill us, I guess.
Who gives a shit? Come to my house and body slam me into my own basement.
See y'all next week.
Or not.